So, John, say you're lost in the middle of a forest, in the dark, on your way to some kind of a spooky cottage, and your vehicle just breaks down.
As it's a tale as old as time.
Mm-hmm. Well, basically, you know you're in a horror movie.
Pretty much.
You know shit is about to go down any second.
Mm-hmm.
Now, which two Gavin and Stacey characters would you most like to bump into?
Ooh. Well, certainly not James Corden and Matt Horne.
No.
I mean, we can clearly write those two off.
Yeah.
I think, Nessa.
Yeah, sure.
And Pam.
Pam.
Pam would be fun. Yeah, I think they'd be fun.
Okay, like Nessa, tidy.
Yeah.
Pam.
I think I'd just like to share a car with her. I'm not sure she'd be very useful in a horror movie situation.
No, she'd be the worst.
She would be the worst in a horror movie
She'd
situation.
be screaming loads. She'd draw everybody towards you.
Actually, in a horror movie, maybe Uncle Bryn.
Uncle Bryn?
He's practical.
Yeah.
I was just more thinking of who I'd want to pick me up and drive me home.
Yeah, I mean Nessa's a solid shot.
Nessa's solid. She's a
superhero.
I would pity any vampire, werewolf, whatever it might be,
Yeah.
lesbian or otherwise, that kind of tried to take her on you.
Yeah.
And I would enjoy all her celebrity stories.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, Nessa's definitely a good shout. Yeah, I think Nessa and Bryn's that's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, either that, maybe Dave's coaches.
Yes, Dave's coaches just picks you up here.
Yeah.
I feel like that would be full of the undead, though.
Yeah.
Some films are fine just the way they are. Other films sometimes take it way too far. But really, how bad could it get? Let's go beyond the box set.
Welcome back, everybody, to Beyond the Box Set, the podcast where today we are pitching prequels, sequels, and spin-off ideas to one of the worst movies of all time, Lesbian Vampire Killers. It's going to be a good episode. So we're also going to pitch some drinking games, and we're going to hear from our listeners with the ideas they've posted on our Facebook and Twitter pages. Now, first, we're going to talk about some of our favourite moments from the original movie.
I'll be short.
All right. But we will be catching up with a plot summary.
Okay, yeah.
Well,
sure.
which I'll be doing. I'm Harry, the host with the most tan.
The most tan?
Tan. I'm
because
the most
vampires. Oh, talent.
Tan.
Yeah, I thought you
Skin
said
tan.
Skin. Yeah, I thought you said. Sorry, when you said the most, I thought you said the most talent. Which whatever. Okay, the most tan. Is this because it's a vampire film?
Yeah, and joining me as always, the host who, like a vampire, if his skin sees the daylight, he will burn to a crisp.
Fair.
It's John Lucas.
It's fair. I'm Irish.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hello, John.
Hello.
What do you think of this film? One word. No, 3 words. Go.
Was this film? Question mark.
That's an awful... I had piece of shit prepared in my head.
Piece of shit. Well, okay.
God. See, at one point, I paused this film to go and get myself a beer.
Yeah.
Just paused it mid-sentence.
Yeah.
And then pressed resume, and just... The first thing that happened was James Corden just went, piece of shit! And I was like, wow.
How meta. No, I mean, honestly, if you told me that this film was written and directed by 14-year-old boys,
mm-hmm.
I would believe you.
Oh, do you know how old they were?
Yeah.
The director?
I mean, I'm assuming they were adults.
Let's have a quick...
I did notice that the director doesn't have his own Wikipedia page, which is never a good sign.
Well, 1976.
Yeah, so he was 86, 96, 2006.
Yeah, he'd be 33.
33 years old, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's the worst age.
Yeah.
What?
I feel like I could...
What are those eyes you give me there?
I feel like I could direct a better film than this. Than most people do. I mean,
What would your exact version of this film be?
I don't even know where to begin with.
So you're given vaguely this by the writers.
Well, okay, mine would be campier. It would have actual dialogue that was funny.
Mm-hmm.
It would have characterization.
Mm-hmm.
It would not just be a weird softcore porn. It wouldn't hate women and gay people and pretty much anyone who's not a white man.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
We need to talk about... we really need to talk about the quality of movies on this podcast. Okay. Because you give me a lot of shit every time I suggest a film that you don't like. And,
mm-hmm.
I'm very much, I never judge you for not liking films
mm-hmm.
that I like. That's, it's personal taste, whatever,
mm-hmm.
That's what I like about this podcast. I like that we have our own opinions and,
mm-hmm.
stuff. I was thinking about the films that I've given to you that you've really, hated.
Yeah.
I'm really, not just hated for the episode, but, keep bringing up, oh, I can't believe we watched that and that and that. So it's like, it's Dangerous Liaisons, there's Yentl, and Dracula.
There was that other Glenn Close one. What was the first? Fatal Attraction.
You didn't hate Fatal Attraction.
The bunny boiler one.
Yeah.
I didn't like it.
You didn't hate it. Well, fine. Even if I add Fatal Attraction to the mix, okay. So let's talk. Let's say those are the worst 4 films I've made you watch in this entire podcast.
Yeah.
All 4 of those films have been nominated for Oscars. All 4 of those films.
That's not necessarily a sign of a good film.
I mean, all 4 of those films are like on lists of like the best ever thriller movie or the greatest period movie or the greatest top. That they are like considered classics, and it's okay that you didn't like them. That's perfectly acceptable. The films that you've racketed back at me, the ones that have really been low moments for me.
Yeah.
Knights of Badassdom.
Yeah, that was a misstep. I was sold that as a better film than it was, and I hadn't seen it. I didn't know anything about it. I went in blind.
Sausage Party.
Yeah, that one I knew what it was.
Yeah. Lesbian Vampire Killers.
Yeah.
And I guess Need for Speed, but
that's the
Need for Speed was just stupid. It wasn't like that was wasn't quite on the same level. But at least I'm giving you culture. At least I'm giving you an education, and you're just giving me hate crimes, hate crimes disguised as movies.
Yeah. Hey, I thought it'd be fun. Sausage Party was fun.
I mean, I'm looking back more fondly on Sausage Party after watching this movie.
See, now, I thought I'd pick this one because it had been quite a while since we've done a film that we both completely hated.
Sure, yeah.
And I feel like it was a safe bet.
Okay, yeah. That's fair. I mean, what did you think?
Oh, it was awful.
Okay, oh, thank God, thank God. Yeah.
So bad.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, if that was your goal, you succeeded. Because this barely qualifies as a movie.
Yeah. It was either I pick this or I pick I Am Legend, which I'm not sure if I Am Legend was just going to be a very meh film.
Yeah.
And there's nothing worse than that.
That's true, yeah.
So I thought I'd have something that's at least got some shit to talk about.
Yeah, absolutely, yes.
And I love the fact that nobody involved in this film likes this film.
Oh yeah, like James Corden, you can Google it. Like, if you Google James Corden Lesbian Vampire Killers, it's just interview after interview of him just saying, I'm really sorry I made this film. This film was dreadful. Don't watch this film.
Yeah.
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 He's not wrong.
Even trying to find this film online to download.
It was...
the word lesbian has been edited out of a lot of copies.
Yes. I think for the American... I say American release. I think it was a very limited release, but yeah.
Yeah, it was called Vampire Killers.
Yeah.
Well,
okay, can we talk about the title? Because even that annoyed me.
Yeah?
Even the title, Lesbian Vampire Killers, annoyed me.
Sure.
Because...
Did it not tell you what it was, though?
No, it didn't. That's the thing. It really did. I mean, I knew what it was going for. But no, Lesbian Vampire Killers, in my brain, means lesbians who kill vampires.
Oh, that's fair.
Yeah.
That'd be a much better film.
That'd be a much better film. Instead, what we get is killers who kill lesbian vampires.
Yeah.
It should be lesbian-vampire killers.
Yep.
Not lesbian vampire killers.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
It fails at its most basic level. And I really believe, and I've not looked this up, I would be very surprised if it was not the fact that the title came before the script of this movie.
Of course.
Of course it did. Like, you know what? Clearly someone was like, oh, what can we... Let's write a horror movie. What should we call it? Lesbian Vampire Killers.
It may even be based off a porno.
Probably. I mean, this is what I mean. It really felt like it was written exclusively by and for 14-year-old boys. Because it wasn't even sexy. I mean, maybe, I don't know. You tell me.
No.
It's not aimed at me. Maybe I'm not one to speak on this, but like...
No, it was a heterosexual man. It wasn't really aimed at me. It wasn't really...
It was totally aimed at you.
Yeah,
Who was it aimed at if not you?
No, sorry, I misspoke.
Okay.
It wasn't really that sexy.
No, it wasn't. It seemed to me, again, I don't know, I'm not...
The boobs were sexy at the start, when the women were still human.
Sure, yeah.
It was less sexy when you constantly got James Corden staring at them. And then when everybody turned into vampires and occasionally would explode in some kind of weird white goo that was probably a metaphor for something.
What could it be?
It was not very sexy at that point.
No, what? It felt to me like sexy from the perspective of somebody who's never had sex. Someone who never gets to look at a naked woman. You know what I mean? Like, it just was like, oh, every shot's going to be boobs and bums and boobs and bums and oh, now she's in the shower and like, but yeah, there was nothing actually sexy about it because it was just stupid.
No.
It was just utterly stupid.
It was weird how much everybody was looking at boobs in it, because the thing with looking at boobs, it's only good for like a glance.
Yeah.
You have a little glance, oh, all right, yeah. And you actually stare at them, and then you just realise they're just boobs.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah.
And then fun's over.
Yeah.
Yeah. This film stared at boobs way too long.
Right, which ones you want then?
I haven't thought about it.
You're such a fucking ponce, James. Which ones you fancy? Which ones you like the most? Just answer the question.
All right then, Lottie. She seems really nice and friendly. And it's like she's got this pure spirit. She's just really sweet. She's got the prettiest eyes. It's like looking into bottomless pools. And you?
Trudy. Massive tits, never speaks.
Yeah, well, do you want to go for a plot summary and then?
Yeah, all right, I can do this.
Yeah. Good luck.
All right, so James Corden and Matthew Horne.
Okay, first of all, I will give you £100 here and now if, without referring to your notes, you can tell me what their character names were. These are the lead characters in the film.
Matthew Horne was Jimmy.
Okay.
James Corden was Fletch.
Oh, fuck.
You owe me £100.
Damn it!
You literally owe me £100 and you recorded it as well.
Damn it! How did you do that? Because, like... you must have written that down.
No, genuinely not. They're not in my sequel, nothing.
Oh, I flew too close to the sun there.
You owe me £100.
Fine.
I'm not letting it go. Okay, so Jimmy and Fletch, they are... Oh, I forget exactly how it starts, but... Oh, that's it, yeah.
We start with a preamble.
Oh, yes, there is.
A voiceover.
Yes. Yeah, there's a voiceover. Okay, so who's doing a voiceover? Anybody?
It sounded like somebody, but I couldn't tell you.
Well, anyway, it turns out that hundreds of years ago, there was this vampire queen, who I don't remember the name of.
Carmilla.
Carmilla, that's it, yeah.
Not Camilla, Carmilla.
Carmilla, okay, sure.
Yeah, which sounds like a character from a Pixar movie or something. Or from Wreck-It Ralph.
Yeah.
Sounds like a character from Wreck-It Ralph.
Yeah, she, amongst other things, turns some knight's wife gay.
Yes.
What? No, it's true.
No, she does. Okay, yeah.
Oh, I mean, she turns her into a lesbian vampire, let's be honest. It's not just she's so sexy that even the women want her.
Yeah.
To which Matthew Horne's ancestor is not very happy. And so he stabs her in the heart, but not before she places a curse on him that all his descendants, well, all his female descendants, the moment they turn 18, will... Is it turn into lesbians?
We'll turn into lesbian vampires.
Or is it lesbian vampires?
So here's my first question.
I wasn't quite sure, because it did feel like everybody who was a vampire in this was actually bitten before becoming a vampire.
Yeah.
Or maybe I was wrong. Maybe it...
Well, no, because the vicar's
No, it is that, yes, they do turn into vampires, because then they're trying to bring Queen Carmilla back.
Yes.
That's their aim.
So here's the first of my many questions about the plot holes in this movie. So if every woman in this bloodline at the age of 18 becomes both a lesbian and the living dead, how then has this bloodline lasted for hundreds and hundreds of years?
Because they're just so damn hot, John, that everybody has to have sex with them before they're 18.
Okay.
That's all I can say.
Okay, great.
I'm just lowering my standards to where the writers may be at.
No. This film has no.
Also, I doubt they thought it through at all.
No, of course not. This film could have been written on the back of a cereal box or something.
Yeah. So then we cut to present day 2009, where James Corden and Matthew Horne, Jimmy and Fletch.
Just call them Gavin and Smithy. Let's be real.
I'm calling them Jimmy and Fletch because it earned me £100.
All right, fine.
Yeah, well, Jimmy's just getting over this girlfriend who's dumped him for like the 5th time or something, but she's been very confusing about it, and it's weird. Also,
she's a robot?
Was she a robot?
No, not in the film, but the actress was terrible.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody in this film, the acting in general in this film was terrible.
At this point in the film, were you getting very strong Cornetto trilogy vibes?
Oh, this entire film is just so, like...
Like, when was Shaun? What year was
2004.
That?
This film is this entire film is utter like oldie value like low rent Cornetto. Low rent Shaun of the Dead, specifically. Yeah, this was Shaun of the Dead with none of the charm or the wit or the good writing or the characterization. But yeah, it was painful how much this was that.
Yeah. It was awful.
Yeah. James Corden is doing a bad Nick Frost.
Yeah.
And I guess Matthew Horne is... I don't think he's even... To say he was attempting to do a Simon Pegg...
He's barely anything.
Yeah, he's just so spaced out in this film. I'll say this for James Corden. And you know my feelings on James Corden. Not positive. I'll say this. He was the actor in this film who most hit the level of the material.
Yeah.
Like, he knew what he was in and gave an enthusiastic performance.
Yeah. Well, I feel like he's nothing if not enthusiastic.
Yeah, you can't accuse him of not being that.
Yeah.
Whereas Matthew Horne was just there. I mean, he's not the most acting. He doesn't do the most acting. This was
the beginning of the end of Matthew Horne's career.
Pretty much, yeah.
Like, this was a few months before Gavin and Stacey season 3.
Yeah.
And it was also about the same time that they did the TV show Horne and Corden. Anyway, so yeah, Matthew Horne's been broken up from this.
He's been dumped.
This woman. He's been dumped by this woman, and so they both go and get drunk at the pub. Very Shaun of the Dead.
Exactly.
That's right out of Shaun of the Dead.
This entire sequence was just
yeah, and so they get very drunk and they say that they should go away for a weekend or something. I don't know, and they just throw a dart at a map and it lands in this small village.
Yeah,
which is very thankfully quite close to London because obviously they're in London.
Yeah,
it's just not a problem for them.
You know, this
would have been much more interesting if it was like Yorkshire.
I was watching this scene and I was like expecting, he's going to drunkenly throw a dart at the map. And I thought, here comes the obvious joke. It's going to land in the sea. You know what I mean? And I thought, there's an obvious joke. But then it didn't happen. But then I was like, but also...
Well, what's the joke there?
That he's so drunk. He says wherever it lands, we'll travel to. I just thought it'd be like, it wouldn't be funny. I was like, I get it. He's going to drunkenly throw his thing and it's going to land in like the sea. And it'll be like, I'll do it. There were loads. It was just the first of many times in this film, and I was like anticipating a pretty weak joke, but a joke, and then that joke just wouldn't happen. But then no joke would happen. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying that's a really funny joke because I thought that's a predictable joke, and there were loads of times. I can't think of any specific examples, but there were loads of times in this film when I was like expecting a certain joke to come through, and instead, rather than there being like a cleverer joke, there was just no joke.
Yeah.
Wherever it lands on the map, we go there. Leave it to the hands of fate, a proper adventure. What do you say?
No.
It'll be brilliant.
It'll be shit.
Let the dart show us the way.
Alright then, fuck it. I'm only agreeing to this because I'm feeling for you right now. And because I'm unbelievably shit-faced. Throw it like you mean it, McLaren. I just say it, crack witch.
It's spelled A-D-V-N-T-U-R-E, my friend.
Christ, you're a tit.
So they go there with no plan and nothing but beer and condoms.
Yes, because James Corden's character is a 14-year-old boy.
Yeah.
All he cares about is vagine. Ugh, I mean, if I never hear that non-word again.
Yeah, so they get there. First place to go to is the pub.
Yeah.
Which, well, before they walk in, coming out of the pub, they see 6...
Was it the same girls, or was it just a group of sexy ladies?
I think it was the same girls.
So there were four girls who were on the foreign exchange trip thing.
Something, yeah.
Whatever they were. Yeah, there were 4 of them initially.
I thought it was more.
Yeah. It seemed like there were more in that initial scene. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But anyway, there were 4 girls who came out the pub, and they're all supermodels, basically.
Pretty much, yeah. Page-free girls.
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah.
And so we get a bit of montage of that.
Yeah.
And they get in a vehicle and drive off.
Yeah. Well, basically, James Corden's like lower jaw just like falls to the ground, and his tongue rolls out across the road. And
Yeah, because Matthew Horne's saying they're like, oh, this is awful, we're going to have a bad time. And James Corden's like, nah, there's going to be tricks everywhere. And then there's literally tricks everywhere.
Yes.
And then he's like, great, well, we're going in there. And it's like this pub that seems to be attached to a church. I was very confused by it all.
Yeah.
It
didn't look like a pub.
No, it didn't. No. It looked like a church.
Yeah. This is the other thing. This film looked like shit.
It did.
It was an ugly film to watch.
They should have gone to the set of Hot Fuzz.
Yeah.
Really. Because that really got the small countryside village feel.
Exactly. Yeah.
This one didn't even slightly.
Yeah, that's it. There's so much about this film that just compares poorly to anything that Nick Frost and Simon Pegg did with what's the director called? Edgar Wright. Like, yeah, because it's all in the little details there, the little jokes that you pick up on that you could just miss, but they just create this believable world.
Yeah.
Whereas this film, it just looked ugly. Like did you notice that all of the interior shots, and a lot of the film's shots outdoors, but all the interior shots in the first half were like way too bright.
No, I didn't.
I really picked up on it. I was like. In the scene where James Corden is being fired from his job, for example, or when Matthew Horne's being dumped, both of which are shot in like a room, an empty room with a desk or a sofa.
Yeah,
there's nothing there. There's no like characterization there, and it was just like you could so tell it was in a studio because it was like someone sat in a room and it's just for no reason it's really bright behind them. It was like, where is this taking place? And it just looked really cheap and tacky and ugly. Yeah. Sorry, I know it's not about the plot, but it annoyed me because it just made this ugly movie even uglier.
Yeah, so they go into this pub and everybody looks at them, puts their drinks down, looks at them, it's silence, and it's...
This pub is entirely populated by failed Emmerdale actors.
Yeah. And... yeah, it's just the classic walk into a pub, everybody stops drinking and like, oh god, outsiders, oof.
Yeah.
They go up and order a drink and they get given the drink silently, which they don't pay for.
No, they assume the drink is free and I don't know why.
Yeah.
Why would they get given a free drink?
And they sit down and awkwardly just start drinking these free drinks. And then Paul McGann comes in and ruins his career.
Yeah. Yeah, apart from Matt Corden and James Corden and Matt Horne, the only other actor in this film... Full stop.
Yeah.
But also the only person I recognised, as a person, an actor. Yeah. Yeah. I really felt like him doing this film came after a long and sad conversation with his agent.
Yeah. Yeah, it must have done. God, I feel bad for him.
Yeah.
Way more than I do for Matt Horne and James Corden.
Definitely, because he was trying. Like he was
trying. He was trying. He was hoping this film was funner and better than it was.
Yeah.
And that's the film that he was being in.
Yeah. He was committing to the material as much as could possibly be expected, given what he had to work with.
Yeah.
This was not with Neil and I.
No. Anyway, so he comes in and he's essentially going a bit crazy because like his daughter's about to turn 18 or something, and so
she'll be stricken by the curse.
Yeah. And he's just being a bit crazy and sort of aggressive towards the barman. He then leaves. The barman comes over and apologises, giving them free drinks.
Oh, that's when they get free drinks, okay.
Giving them a carry bag full of free drinks.
Oh, okay.
They didn't pay for the beers initially.
Oh, that's true,
as far as I saw.
Yeah, no, they didn't. No.
And, yeah, then they ask if there's a place to stay anywhere, and the barman says, oh, yeah, there's a cottage. I actually just sent up a group of girls there now. And James Corden immediately runs out.
Yes. It's like one of those, like, James Corden-shaped hole in the wall.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, okay, you missed one vital plot detail. So when the vicar he comes in and he's ranting and raving about something or other to the barman, which we later find out is, the whole vampire plot. Anyway, he looks at Matthew Horne and he recognises him instantly as the descendant of this Baron von Munchausen, whatever he was called. Right?
Baron von Munchausen.
That was not what it was.
The guy was very English.
Yeah,
he was wearing an English flag on his chest.
No, that's not what it was. It was something else.
The Old Knight.
The Old Knight.
Just call him that.
The Old Knight. Yeah.
Baron von Munchausen.
That's from something else. I pulled that from like an Agatha Christie or something.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah. But my question is this: how does he, in this like 20th century? Maybe, how old was Matthew Horne at this point? Like 27, 28-year-old, maybe, like lad. How is he looking at this lad and being like, "Oh, it's the descendants of Baron Jimmy, whatever." That's even worse. I don't know. Is there a portrait? We never see one. How does he recognise this guy as the descendant of
I don't know, John.
Again, I know I'm applying too much logic to a movie that has no logic.
Yes.
Anyway, continue. So.
So how many more, Tom? How many more?
Don't you be all high and mighty with me, Vicar.
We have to stop this madness.
Reckon that's his daughter.
If it's not, that's one dirty vicar.
We can't let any more innocent people die.
Then what? Then they'll come for us, is what?
Oh, aye.
Don't you see they have us already? Our women are cursed, and we are spineless fools who let it happen.
Look, I know it's hard, Vicar, what with your Rebecca turning 18 and all, but
18, love it.
Together we can stop this. You are either with me or against me.
what is us?
Who is with me?
No, it can't be. Oh, that's impossible. It can't be you. What is your name?
Oi, this cost 25 quid, mate.
That is enough, Father, that is enough!
Come, child. Does he know you? Have you been hanging out with Vickers?
Never seen him before in my life.
And so then they go to catch up with the girls, which of course they do because the girls, as we started our episode, they get lost in the dark forest and their van breaks down and everything's a bit scary for a second. But then James Corden and Matthew Horne show up and they're like, "Hi, girls!" And the girls invite them in and...
So these girls...
Yeah.
These girls are for European.
Yep. Let's just go with
Does
that.
it say where they're from? The
Yep.
accents are all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
They are all basically dressed like page 3 girls. Mm-hmm. Like they're all wearing like hot pants and... Well, there's 3 that are just dressed like prostitutes though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah.
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 And then there's the one who's like... She's a real character because she's got glasses and bad hair.
Yeah.
So...
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They're sat in the car in the middle of the forest. At no point do any of them give any indication that it's supposed to be cold.
No.
It's the middle of the night in the middle of a forest in the middle of England, and they're all dressed like they're at some club in the middle of Manchester or something.
Yeah.
Again, because it's all obviously on a studio somewhere. These, I don't know why these things started to bother me, but
No, I don't know.
I guess when there's literally nothing happening in the plot, I was just reaching out for any kind of realism, and I was like, "You should be cold. There should be a breeze."
But yeah, so it's awful, and that's the film.
Great.
Yeah, they all go to the cottage together. The van starts working again for whatever reason. It doesn't matter. There was a vampire stalking them or something. It doesn't matter.
No,
Nothing
nothing matters. Harry.
Nothing matters.
Nothing matters in this film. But they make it to the cottage.
They make it to the cottage and they start just having a bit of a party or something. And then one of the girls needs the toilet, and the toilet is outside. And so 2 of them go to the toilet. They both got by vampires and turned into vampires. And I thought they were all going to get picked off one by one, but those 2 went, and then one more person got turned into a vampire, and that was it.
This film really fast-forwarded the horror movie part.
Yeah, it really did.
There were so many bits where I was like, "Oh, I guess this is the plot." Oh no, okay, we're not.
And then it very quickly turned into... Well, I mean, I'm skipping over all the bits of James Corden saying, "Oh, so which one do you want then?"
Yeah.
And Matthew Horne's supposed to be the good guy of just like, I haven't really thought about it.
You know what else? Okay, this is another thing that annoyed me. I'm going to be constantly interrupting with the things that annoy me about this film.
Yeah.
But this really annoyed me, actually. Is that, again, because I was constantly thinking of like how much I like Simon Pegg and Nick Frost films, specifically Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah.
And what's great about those films is that they are really good together, and they have a really believable friendship dynamic. Like, you know, they have conversations, they have shared interests, and you really understand who they are. In this film, Matthew Horne and James Corden, the entire film, they just literally keep saying the same lines of dialogue to each other over and over again. It's literally the same conversation. It's like James Corden's like, "I'm horny, which one do you want to fuck?" And Matthew Horne's like, "I like Lottie." That's the whole film. Literally, their entire relationship is, "I'm a horny idiot, I'm a slightly less horny idiot." And that's all they have. It's really annoying.
Yeah.
It's like there's a little string in the back of on their backs, and you just pull it, and then they say their line. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Yeah, basically, yeah. Well, James Corden didn't write this.
I know. So maybe,
That's
weirdly, it might have been better if he had. Yeah.
Definitely would have.
No.
It wouldn't take much to be better than this.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
What the hell is going on?
What are you doing here?
Something was chasing me. Vampires. What?
Yep. Lesbian vampires.
How ridiculous.
No, just another one of God's cruel tricks to get on my tits. Even dead women would sooner sleep with each other than get with me, it would appear. But eating me alive? Oh no, that's fine.
Lesbian vampires.
Next time, he'll have me bummed by a big gay werewolf, I swear.
Where were we?
So the vampire... So two of the girls have become vampires.
Oh, yeah, and so then we just get into... they're just kind of defending themselves a little bit, and maybe they kill a vampire or two. This is where everybody who is watching this film has lost interest and has got bored.
100%, yeah. Matthew Horne and... So the one girl, the blonde girl, Lottie, she and Matthew Horne kind of hit it off a little bit.
Yeah.
Because she's like the...
There's way too much discussion over her virginity.
Yes, there is, because she's a virgin.
Yeah.
Which I didn't believe for a moment.
Makes James Corden's eyes pop out of his skull.
Yeah. This is another thing I've never understood, and I know this is legitimately something that people
I don't
really
get
like.
it either, John.
No, like all that means is they're probably not going to be very good in bed.
Basically, yeah. Yeah.
I don't get it, like, but yeah, but yeah. So she's
also a woman's first time isn't good.
No,
I'm told it doesn't go well.
Yeah. Well, yeah, of course you got to break the hymen and all that.
Yeah. There's all sorts of stuff going on.
Yeah, it's I don't know. If you told me that
it's not sexy.
If you told me that James Corden's character was a virgin, I would have bought it 100%.
Yeah.
And that would have been a reasonable joke.
To an extent.
Not a great joke, but like...
Would have been the best joke in the movie.
It would have been the best joke in the movie if that had been like... because the whole film's like, oh, they need to drain a virgin's blood. Mm-hmm. If he had been that virgin, at least that would have been, something.
Yeah.
Like, it's something he's never told anyone, but that's his secret shame,
Yeah.
That could have been something, but again, missed opportunity. But no, she, the sexy 35-year-old blonde lady, is a virgin, apparently. And she decides that Matthew Horne, on the basis of nothing... On the basis of him not being James Corden.
I was about to say that, yeah.
On the basis of him not being James Corden, she decides he is the greatest man she's ever met, and he's the one that she can give her, give her flower to, as Monica and Friends would say.
Yeah. She is way too in love with him.
Yeah.
Like that moment where they're both tied up, and she's like, I think that any moment without you is not worth living, or something like that. Like, that's
a red flag.
You've known this man like an hour.
Yeah.
He's been very quiet through most of that time because he's getting over his ex-girlfriend.
Yeah, who he just axed in the face.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah,
and this is what you're thinking.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I was like, she's a red flag. Yeah,
and well, a little bit earlier, that moment when she first reveals to James, well, not to James Corden, but when James Corden finds out that she's a virgin, and Matthew Horne's just like, wait, you really think that she'll be thinking that now or something? And James Corden's like, yeah, no, she's not going to die a virgin.
Yeah.
Like, okay, so you think she's going to be up for, getting down on it.
Yeah.
And then dying. Like, while the vampires are coming. Do you really think that's a priority for her right now?
Yeah. I mean, this film has no interest in women. I mean, it has
simultaneously in their
too
bodies.
Much. It's got way too much interest in women, but also no interest. Like, she's not a character.
No,
Shaun of the Dead. Again, I keep going back.
No. She's a character. She's a very badly written character, but she is a character.
Yeah.
The other women, they are not characters.
Yeah, okay, fine. She's the attempt at creating a female character, but she's really not. She's just a collection of lines.
Yeah. Anyway, so then at one point, Paul McGann shows up again, and he's like, "Oh yeah, Matthew Horne, you need to come and help me find like this grave or whatever."
No, you're wrong. Matthew Horne, and I can't believe I've actually got this plot down more than you.
It got difficult at this point.
It did. I don't play that golf game that you were playing, but I was certainly playing a lot of Township at this point.
Yep.
And briefly looking up.
Yep.
So. No, Matthew Horne and Lottie, the blonde lady, they get kidnapped by the lesbian vampires. And then James Corden is left alone in the cottage because the other girl, Trina or Trinity or something?
Yeah, sorry, I did get the two of them mixed up at that point, didn't I?
Yeah. She gets kidnapped by the vampires.
Right.
Or she gets vamped.
Sure.
Then Lottie and Matthew Horne get taken away. Then James Corden's alone in the cottage. I don't think he realises he's alone in the cottage. Then the Vicar turns up, and then him and the Vicar fight off the vamped version.
You've actually skipped over a bit there. Thanks for helping me get back on track to where we were. where James Corden, I mean, he does make the smart decision, like, not to go and use the toilet outside, because, you know, that's
ultimate death.
That's, yeah, definitely.
It's horror movie death right there.
But he does then go and pee in the sink.
Oh, he does?
Yeah, which I get in that situation, probably the best thing to do. But also, writers, did you have to have that?
Yeah. Did we need a scene?
Did we need him going to the toilet? We didn't.
No.
We didn't. There's other ways, like, he could just be really vain. That's why he looks in the mirror and doesn't see a vampire behind him. Mm-hmm. Like, that could work.
And he could be brushing his teeth. Anything.
Yeah, something. Peeing in the sink, like, that's just not pleasant to watch.
Well, it's the level this film is operating at.
Yeah. I thought this film was above that.
Why? What could possibly have led you to believe that this film was operating above that?
I don't know. Anyway, so, yeah, then Paul McGann comes and takes James Corden and takes him to go find the grave.
Well, after they kill the vampire, they push her into the shower. He's doing the whole power of Christ compels you thing.
Oh, dear.
This was it's like, grab her, and he just grabs her breasts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was rough.
This was bad, yeah.
Yeah. This was a bad film.
You should be ashamed of having made us watch this. So yeah, this lesbian vampire lady, who's the page free girl, who's been saying is a vampire. Oh, for American listeners, page free girl, just that used to be back in the day in British newspapers on page 3 they would have topless models. So
not all British newspapers. I think it was just the Sun.
Just the Sun, yeah.
Yeah.
So
yeah, just clarifying that, like, the Guardian, or the Times.
No, they don't have page 3 girls. No. I think the Guardian's page 3 girl is like
Theresa May.
Is like Theresa May, yeah.
Yeah.
There you go, yeah.
Was the Sun also the newspaper that had the countdown to when Emma Watson turned 18?
Yeah, they did the same with Charlotte Church.
Did they?
Yeah.
Great.
Classy newspaper.
That's just unreal.
It's amazing, isn't it?
Like, the page 3 girls thing, like, I'm not on board with, but I can at least understand.
Yeah, sure.
The fact that, like, this child is sexy.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. But,
that is mental.
Yeah, the world we live in, the world that this film lives in. Yeah.
Much if they tried that now.
I don't even want to think about it, actually.
No,
it's just horrible. Yeah, it'd
surely be the end of the newspaper if it did.
No, they can't do it now, which is a good thing.
Yeah, big time.
That's what I mean. It's like, that's the kind of thing, like, men get annoyed about now. It's like, you can't even count down to a child becoming legal anymore. Political correctness has gone too fucking far.
Oh god. And this film's not much above that, really, is it? It's really not.
Well, I mean, it's literally not.
In fact, yeah.
There's a literal countdown to a character turning 18.
Yeah, because Paul McGann's daughter is turning 18 soon, and then James Corden's like, "Oh, 18." Ooh. Yeah. Like, no. Yeah. What's wrong with you, James Corden?
Yeah. Gross. What's wrong with you, James Corden? A question that's been asked many a time by many different people. But yeah, there's a very unedifying scene where there's this sexy topless. She's topless at this point, isn't she? She's been in the shower because you know that character had to get naked. Mm-hmm. There's a topless lady with giant boobs, and she's a vampire. And Paul McGann, as the vicar, puts a crucifix in her face and says, "Grab her, push her backwards into the shower." Mm-hmm. And James Corden literally grabs her by the boobs, one hand on each boob, pushes her into this shower. And I guess this shower is the showering in holy water because she just melts.
Yeah, maybe it's just sort of, along with the crucifix, just water melts her like a witch. I don't know.
Okay, sure. She melts, and he's left holding 2 silicone implants, basically, yeah. Ha ha ha. How hilarious.
Just ridiculous.
Again, dangerous liaisons. This.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what, Dangerous Liaisons? The most boring film ever. Mm-hmm. Up there with Dracula.
Fine.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, class-wise,
it's an entirely enclosed season.
Well, it's not going to happen again.
It was rough.
I know. I'm sorry. But
this may happen again.
That's why I'm quite bitter, because I know for a fact this will happen again.
Yeah. I mean, well, like I said before, it's more than meh, isn't it?
So, yeah. No. Carry on your plot summary.
That makes it more interesting for a conversation.
Yes, of course.
Yeah. Of course. Just don't do Yentl again. All right.
There's other Barbra Streisand musicals. It's fine.
Just don't do them.
It's alright. Funny Girl has a sequel already.
Great, thank God. Never heard of it. Yeah, so they go and they find this sword.
The Sword of Dialdo.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And it sounds like dildo.
Yeah, no, I didn't hear that in the film.
Oh, you're being sarcastic.
No, as in I didn't hear that it was I didn't hear the sword's name.
Oh, okay. Oh, they said it a lot.
Did they?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously I got the joke of like the hilt is shaped like a penis.
Well, how could you not? They kept repeating it over and over again.
That was ridiculous. It went on too long. That joke.
That's another thing that really annoyed me is that, like, okay, a sword that is shaped like a penis, again, not the most clever joke in the world, obviously. No. But, like, you know, fine, okay. Just show us the sword looking like a penis and he has to grab it by the shaft. And okay, it's a stupid joke, but fine. But the fact that they just kept saying it over and over again, like, that looks like a penis. Doesn't that look like a penis? Oh my god, it looks like a penis. It's like, oh my god, we get the joke. It looks like a penis. You're actively killing this joke.
Yeah.
Like, just let it happen.
Yeah.
Let that be the joke. Let them, like, pick it up. He's holding the shaft. He gives it a double take. He's like, great, you've got a little giggle. But instead it was just constantly harping on about it.
Yeah, it was not good.
No.
Can you see the sword?
Give me a minute, please. My first time in a tomb gravestone.
What is it?
It's nothing.
What's so funny in there?
It's got a big metal cock for a handle.
Grow up! The handle draws on the power of the demon Dieldo, rendering this blade and this blade alone capable of destroying her once and for all.
What? How?
It just does, okay?
What happens from here? Does he just go and free them?
So James Corden and the Vicar dig up the grave of Matthew Horne's ancestor, who is the one who was originally slew Carmilla.
Yeah.
And he's got this sword of Dialdo,
Yeah.
which is apparently the sword that can kill her.
Yeah.
So they dig up the corpse, get the sword, then they go to try and rescue James Corden, then they go to rescue Matthew Horne and Lotta.
Yeah.
But before that happens, the Vicar goes ahead for plot reasons. And the Vicar's 18-year-old daughter, who has just turned into a vampire, attacks James Corden. James Corden accidentally stabs her through the chest. She dies. He decides not to tell the Vicar that the Vicar's daughter is dead. So, and then they go in.
Oh, I missed that bit. Sure.
None of it matters. Doesn't come up again.
None of anything
Nothing matters. Nothing in this world matters.
I mean, you better go from here. I'm just going to say what, and then they rescue them. I'm just going to say that every time now.
Sure.
Until it happens.
Then the vampires, in the meantime, they manage to resurrect Carmilla, the vampire queen. James Corden and the Vicar do a rescue attempt. The Vicar is killed. The other three escape. The lesbian vampires give chase. And then there's a whole fight sequence. And then Matthew Horne picks up the sword of his ancestor. And at the last moment, he manages to stab Carmilla through the heart.
Well, he actually throws it at her.
He throws the sword.
He throws it at her. And it's a very slow, stylized shot of the sword flying towards her chest. And you don't actually see it go through.
No. And again, I
was really hoping that the sword was just going to fall in short or something.
Yeah. Again, I thought...
Because that would have been a good joke.
Yeah, I thought the joke was going to be that the sword either misses or it stabs James Corden.
Yes, yeah. One of those. Yeah. Like, maybe he throws it, it lands 2 foot in front of him.
Yes.
And he meant to throw it like 2 meters or more or something. But, like, no, nothing. It was a perfect shot, which means it wasn't funny.
Yeah.
Oh, and the film's a comedy.
Yeah, well, in theory.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the vampires are all dead, and the three of them, James Corden, Matthew Horne, and Lottie, they decide to become lesbian vampire killers. By which, it doesn't mean that they become lesbians. It means they just, as much as that seems to be what that title would suggest, they decide to go on the road and just kill more lesbian vampires, which apparently is a problem across the globe.
Yes.
So then they drive off into the sunset. And we have a final shot, but I'll talk about that in the drinking games because we've not really covered it yet. So, yeah.
Yeah, sure. So that's Lesbian Vampire Killers.
Yeah. I can't believe it took us that long to describe a plot that could have been written on the back of a stamp.
Yeah. I mean, the plot is in the title, really.
Pretty much. The plot is the title. The title is the plot. Yeah.
Yeah. Though the title is also a plot to a much better movie.
Well, yes, that too. Yeah.
Right. Now what?
Dunno. Go home?
Go home. They've taken my friends. They very nearly took our lives, and we never even dreamed they existed before tonight. How can we just go home to our beds?
What's she talking about?
This village is free, but more creatures like Camilla lurk in the dark corners of the world. No one will believe us if we tell them we are the only people who know the truth. We must go out there and fight this menace.
Are you suggesting we become lesbian vampire killers?
That's what it takes.
Okay, should we do some drinking games for this?
Please God, yes.
Okay, so the first game I got is drink for a tit.
Drink per tit. Mm-hmm. So is that 2 drinks every time there's 2 tits? Because most of the time they come in pairs.
Okay, let's just say 1 per pair.
Okay, fine. Yeah. I mean, like I said, this movie is just softcore porn for boys. Mm-hmm. Drink for homophobia.
Yeah.
We didn't talk about it.
I had that as well.
Yeah, this film is full of homophobia.
Yeah, it's quite bad, isn't it? I mean, it's a bad film. And I'm pretty sure that anybody who would be offended by any kind of homophobic joke would not watch this film thinking it wouldn't contain it.
Yeah, not unless forced, no.
Yeah.
Not unless forced by their podcast partner to watch this piece of shit. No, they would not sit for it. No. Yeah, there's just lots of like really lazy. Like they walk into that pub and I think Matthew Horne says something like, "I'm worried I'm going to get raped." Mm-hmm. James Corden says, "Oh, next time I'm going to get bummed by a big gay werewolf or something."
Yeah, there's the bit where Matthew Horne goes to pick up the sword at the end.
Yes.
And he hesitates for a minute when he sees the handle.
Yeah.
And he has to like gulp, close his eyes.
Yeah.
And touch a fake penis.
Yeah. And I get like, and I keep going back to Shaun of the Dead, but like Shaun of the Dead has a couple of gay jokes. Mm-hmm. The one that always springs to mind is the bit, I can't remember what Simon Pegg says, but it's when Nick Frost goes, "All right, gay." Mm-hmm. But that's funny. Like I find that to be a funny joke because Nick Frost's character in that film is like a bit of an idiot.
Yeah.
And it's funny because you're laughing at him because he's just, that's his character. Like, I don't find that joke to be in any way offensive. Mm-hmm. I like that joke. And also because I think Shaun of the Dead is pretty much a male love story in many ways. Mm. And, as well as being a horror film, their whole relationship is very, not sexual, but it's a very sweet relationship. So, like, that film is fine for me, but this film was just like just the laziest. Mm-hmm. I'm not easy to offend when it comes to. I don't go looking to be offended by gay jokes, but this film was just like, oh man, just awful, just such straight boy nonsense.
Yeah, no, that's what we're known for.
Mm-hmm. Stop aligning yourself with these terrible people.
Okay, sure. Next thing I got, drink for every swear word.
Okay, yeah.
Because I noticed that they were heavy in this.
Well, yeah, and you can tell, again, like...
And it's a big sign of lazy writing.
Yeah, because that's what I was about to say, yeah, exactly. Like, there's nothing wrong with a good, well-placed fuck, but if it's every other... but true, it's not. Or, but if it's
in every sense of the term.
Yeah, exactly. But when it's every other word, it's not funny, it's a crutch. It's a comedic crutch, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's awful.
Absolutely, okay. Similarly, drink for misogyny. Because I don't think this film, it's not just this film is homophobic, this film also has no interest in women, as much as it has every interest in women. Like, the female characters are just awful. Yeah. And I don't know if this falls under homophobia or misogyny or both, but the whole idea of, like, all these dreadful, evil demon women can only be killed by being literally stabbed through the chest by a dildo. Mm-hmm. It's like, it's just... The implications are upsetting.
It's ridiculous. Yeah. It is absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
Okay, so as I've done for every film in this season, drink every time somebody gets splattered with blood or yogurt.
Well, yeah, it's not blood, it's spunk in this film. They're just full of spunk.
Yep.
So we didn't talk about the girlfriend, Matthew Horne's girlfriend, the worst actress in the film, and that's like that's saying something. Like, what was wrong with her?
I don't know. I think she was given very strict instructions on what to do by the director, because a lot of her main scene is at the start when they're doing peak Edgar Wright kind of movie making, and it's all supposed to be a bit weird and jarring.
Yeah,
like if you compare her to, say, Kate Blanchett, who cameoed in Hot Fuzz, under a mask.
Can you imagine if Kate Blanchett turned up in this?
Yeah, man. Like they weren't that dissimilar.
Sure, yeah.
Like everything that she was saying, very quick lines and like weird camera movements and stuff like that, and she didn't really have much to do. She was very, very wooden, but that was how it was written. It was done well. Yeah. It was written really well. And the end result was fantastic.
Yeah.
And this was trying to be that, and it just missed every mark.
Yeah, 100%.
And I think that's down to the director, not necessarily the actor.
Well, I don't know what else she was in. I'm not saying.
But it could be both. I'm just giving her the benefit.
She was just she was literally talking like a robot.
Yeah.
It was bizarre how bad she was. But so she is this comedically awful, well, not comedically, but dreadful woman who is just treating Matthew Horne like absolute shit because she's cheating on him. Basically, she's constantly cheating on him, and then she keeps like pulling him back every time she dumps him. She pulls him back in. That's their whole dynamic.
Yeah.
So then after him and Smithy go to I'm just going to call him Smithy. After they go to Norfolk to kind of get over her, she gets dumped by her new man, and so she stalks him back to Norfolk, gets bitten by a vampire. And again, I thought this was going to be the movie. I thought this was going to be the plot. I thought she was going to be the main villain. She turns up in the haunted cottage, tries to bite him, and then basically he sticks an axe in her head, and she dies.
Yeah.
All the vampires in this film, when they die, instead of like turning to dust or bleeding or anything, they just explode and they're just full of... It's spunk. It looks like it's spunk. It's spunk.
Yeah.
But, I mean, not that the film ever goes to any efforts to explain why that might happen, but like she can't have been a vampire for more than half an hour. Why is she full of spunk?
I don't know, John.
No.
Don't try and make me work this out.
Why is she full of spunk, Harry? Explain it to me.
Jimmy, I know you have every right to hate me, but I just want you to know I'm so happy you let me through the door.
I don't hate you. Well, not completely. I just don't know what it is that I keep doing you don't like.
It's not you, Jimmy. It's me.
Well, I'm glad you realise that, because if this is going to work, you're going to have to change.
Oh, I've changed.
Well, how do I know that? I mean, how can I trust you? You're really going to have to show me you're different.
Oh, I'm different.
Drink whenever anybody looks at a breast.
Yeah, I drink for close-ups on female body parts. So anytime there's a close-up on a pair of tits or an arse or a crotch or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
They felt like it was directed by 14-year-old boys.
Yes, it did.
It was just like, oh, boobs! Boobs! I've got boobs!
All right, calm down.
Well, that's what you could have told the director.
I've got a new text tone, though.
Just not me shouting out, boobs! Boobs!
Okay, drink anytime anybody says the word lesbian.
Yeah.
And final one I've got is also drink for cock jokes.
Drink for cock jokes, sure. Okay. I had drink for whiplash sounds.
Yeah.
And drink for bizarre fast cuts.
Yeah. I suppose you could also do like just drink for added in sound effects.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Like added in sound effects, which would work for both of those things. Yeah, I didn't occur to it, but that is also a very kind of Frost Edgar Wright thing. Yeah. God, they were really just ripping off Edgar Wright.
They really were.
He should have sued them. I mean, I don't think they had any money, but
I don't think he needed to.
I know, but he should have.
He should have sued them if like they were taking money away from one of his projects.
True, yeah.
But I think Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, which I believe was around this time, did well enough.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Especially in comparison to this.
I mean, anything in comparison to this.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, but God, this is such a lame Edgar Wright. I'm not even the biggest Edgar Wright fan. I mean, I like the Cornetto stuff, but yeah,
he's at least got his
own style, which these guys have just clommed onto.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, well, that's the drinking game's done.
Brilliant. All right. Well, I guess that before we get to our awful sequels to match this awful film, listeners, if you've enjoyed this episode for whatever crappy reason, then please do go to patreon.com/beyondtheboxset, where you can give us some money, basically. I was trying to think of the right word that's positive
just
enough.
Give us cash.
That's not like pledge or something like that. But support. Yeah, thank you. If you want to support us, then patreon.com/beyondtheboxset. You can support us with as much or little as you think we're worth, anywhere between $2,000 and $15,000. That's $2, not $2,000. And for that you get a few bonus features, which include a bonus show called Beyond the Box Set, where we review cinema releases. We just before this episode recorded our episode on Joker.
Yep.
We've also done films like Hustlers, and what else is recent?
Ad Astra.
Ad Astra.
We just watched the movie Judy, so
that'll be out soon as well. Yeah, so you get all them. It's just extra content from us, really.
Yeah.
If you like hearing our voices, there's a bit more for you.
Yeah.
There's 2 more features as well. 3 more features if you become Patreon. You can have a 30-second advert slot on the main show once a month. Talk about anything you want. Your own podcast, your own business, whatever you feel like chatting about.
Indeed.
The time is yours. Do with it as you wish.
Yep.
Just don't create this kind of a story.
No, please do not use that slot to promote Lesbian Vampire Killers 2.
No, please don't. It's not a film that deserves to exist and doesn't need to be brought up again, but yet some idiot chose
Someone
it for this.
brought this back from the absolute dregs. We might be the first. I did a search. We might be the first podcast ever to bother with this movie.
Wow. Okay. Well, we should get some good numbers on that then.
Hopefully, yeah.
Yeah.
Because the world has been crying out for this film to be reevaluated. You know?
Oh, I better make this Patreon a very good one then, rather than this drunken spiel that I'm doing right now. What else do you get? Once a month, also on our main show, we get a Patreon on to come and pick an episode. You can do it remotely, you can do it in person, or if you don't want to do it yourself, you can tell us what to do and we'll do an episode for you.
Yeah.
That's it. Mm-hmm. And then the final thing that you do get, if you become a Patreon, you get access to our exclusive Facebook group.
Yes.
Where we have chat about what's coming up in the podcast soon, which, we don't tell the public in advance, and sort of things that are on topic, really.
Yeah.
It's just a nice little community that we're trying to build.
Absolutely, yeah.
If you want to be part of the Beyond the Boxer community, that's where you go. So all that's available, patreon.com/beyondtheboxset.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, Alex. What do you think of Jaws, which is at 97% Rotten Tomatoes?
I find it to be anti-shark propaganda. What do you feel about the Entourage movie, which is at a meager 33%?
I think they finally got Hollywood right. How about It Follows, 97%?
Worse than your parents giving you the sex is evil talk. How do you feel about Juno, which is at 94%?
That would be a movie that celebrates a teenage homewrecker. How about Bewitched at 25%?
Best television adaptation ever put to film. How do you feel about American Hustle at a towering 93%?
Overwrought awards bait. Righteous Kill, 19%.
The movie that Michael Mann wishes he had made when he created Heat.
Sounds about right. I'm Julio.
I'm Alex, and we are the Contrarians.
As you can tell, our thing is that we rage against the Rotten Tomatoes machine.
Regardless of what we really feel.
Find us on Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, Stitcher, TuneIn,
Facebook, Twitter, we're everywhere.
All right, John, go for it.
Great, okay. This was a struggle because this film gave me nothing to work with.
What about Gay Werewolf Killers?
Gay Werewolf Killers, yeah. Well, let's see what I've done. Okay, so we open... It's set immediately after the original, this film.
Mm-hmm.
And we open back in the same town of Cragwich. So we're not picking up with James Corden and Matthew Horne in my sequel.
Mm-hmm.
We're back in the town in which the events took place. And 2 new police officers have been dispatched to that town.
Lovely.
To investigate the disappearance of a London woman and 4 foreign exchange students who all went missing in the forest. So these 2 police officers are going to be played by Simon Pegg and Nick Frost.
Of course.
As Nick Angel and Danny Butterfield from Hot Fuzz. Because obviously I was struck by the fact that, as I keep saying, this film is such a low-rent Frost, Pegg, Wright thing. Yeah. That actually the only thing I could want for the sequel would be to actually bring in some actors who actually have, So actually, let's bring in Hot Fuzz.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, that works.
Yeah. I think it'd be fun because obviously Hot Fuzz had a lot of jokes about, small town life. So I think it'd be fun to just have them investigating the town and asking loads of questions about where these girls might have gone and trying to find out about the vampire cult that's been gripping this town for centuries, whatever. Because there's all these weirdos like the people in the pub. I think it'd be fun to bring them into it basically.
Yeah.
So yeah, they question all the locals and they discover that the visitors were last seen en route to the cabin in the woods.
Mm-hmm.
So on arrival, they are shocked to discover the brutally dismembered corpses of 4 of the missing women, and also several others, including the local vicar. Having already been told about the 2 hikers who were already spotted on the scene, aka, Matthew Horne and James Corden,
of course.
Those 2 immediately become the prime suspects for a grisly murder. So the film's going to basically follow Simon Pegg and Nick Frost as their Hot Fuzz characters as they chase down Matthew Horne and James Corden.
Matthew Horne.
There you go, Matt Horne. Just call them Matt Horne. As they chase down Matt Horne, track them down for this murder of all these women because he killed his girlfriend, and is no one looking for her? Does she have friends, family, anything?
I guess, yeah.
What happened? There's got to be questions to be answered. Surely. He put an axe through her face. So, turns out they're not that difficult to track down because they're fucking idiots. And they're leaving a trail of destruction pretty much anywhere they go. So when the Fuzz actually catch up to them, the pair of them are actually in Great Yarmouth, another town in Norfolk, which is where the original was set. And they're in fact hunting a pack of gay werewolves that are stalking the town.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is Lottie or Lottie?
No, Lottie has left because she's very quickly realised, having actually spent some quality time with Matt Horne, that he is just a complete dud.
Right.
And that all of the thoughts about him being the one to give her virginity to, all of that, you're the love of my life stuff, clearly was just based on the heat of the moment. And in reality, he's a massive dud. There's nothing to him whatsoever.
Mhm.
He's not worth it. So she's gone. She's in the wind.
Yeah.
But the two of them have continued on their kind of mission, and they're now investigating this gay werewolf cult. And I'm thinking that the gay werewolves, I'm thinking Rupert Everett. Do you know who he is?
He was in Shrek 2, wasn't he? He
Yes.
was Prince Charming.
Yeah, he voiced Prince Charming.
Yes.
Okay, so you know
all
who
I
he is.
know him from.
Fair enough. But he's gay and he's grey. He's gay and he's grey.
Mhm.
I could imagine him being like a werewolf.
Sure.
Yeah, I think he could be like the head werewolf.
Mhm.
Yeah, basically. But I think they're investigating this town, and I'm going to need your help at this point. But I feel like maybe the people in the town are the werewolves, or some of them are, and it's like hey, they need to figure out who's the werewolf.
Mm.
So maybe there's like a bunch of colourful characters in this town, and one of them is a werewolf.
So there's just one werewolf.
Maybe just one, or maybe there's like a cult of werewolves.
Mhm.
Maybe a cult of werewolves is best. Maybe there should be several.
Mm. Now, is it also that they're the only people in the town who are gay as well? So it's kind of working out who's gay, who's not. At the same time, is it a metaphor for that?
It could be. Yeah, actually, yes, that could work. Yeah, because I forgot about that. Yeah, they are gay werewolves.
Because you could have a few people there.
Yeah.
And then you could have like one person is coming out of the closet,
Mhm.
and everybody thinks they're about to come out of the closet as gay.
Yeah.
But they actually come out of the closet as a werewolf.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I like this. So they're
Okay, so firstly, you need multiple characters there. So you got Rupert Everett.
Yeah.
Great. Who else is gay? Who else is a gay werewolf?
Alan Cumming.
I mean, that's no surprise.
No, sure. Are we just casting gay actors, or are we just going with?
I mean, you are casting gay actors, definitely.
Questionable, Like, could we have some is he or isn't he kind of actors? Tom Holland, Andrew Garfield.
Yeah.
All the Spider-Man.
Is Tom Maguire on that list as well?
I don't know. Does he have a girlfriend?
Is he somebody who's not on the fence?
I've never thought about it. I don't think so.
Hmm.
But I've never really heard anything.
I was thinking if that was, there'd be a weird commonality.
It'd be
between
very strange that all the Spider-Men were like weird gay. Yeah. I don't know. Does Tobey Maguire have a wife? He must be in his 40s now. You'd think if he was going to, he would. He's not someone I've ever thought about as like being a sexual being, to be honest. No insult to him. He's perfectly fine, but like.
Sure.
Oh no, he's married. Fine, fair enough. He's married.
Of course, that does mean he is definitely straight.
Yes, no gay people ever marry women, especially not in Hollywood.
No,
never. Yeah, well, you could have Tom Cruise.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ian McKellen is like an old vicar.
Yeah.
Yeah, as a camp old vicar.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it's just going to be a town full of like men who may or may not be gay. It's like, there's a lot of single men in this town.
Mm-hmm.
And there's also a werewolf. Maybe the werewolf exclusively targets
gay men.
Gay men, yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
And in this particular village, everyone's gay.
Exactly, that's what I mean, yeah. It's a village of gay men, and this...
Literally not a woman to be found.
Yeah. Which, of course, drives James Corden nuts, because he's in his personal hell. He's in his absolute personal hell, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So all he wants is to find a bunch of buxom 17-year-olds who are about to turn 18, because he's gross, and instead he's ended up in this town of purely homosexual werewolves.
Mm-hmm.
So then Nick Frost and Simon Pegg track them down, and then they have to convince them, Horne and Corden have to convince them that they're not the killers, they're just supernatural fighters, and actually they're here in this town to try and save the population from gay werewolves.
Mm-hmm.
And then Nick Frost and Simon Pegg can then take over as actually charismatic characters. They can join forces, maybe.
Well, they can join forces. Interesting.
Or do you think maybe they're going to be against it?
Against it in what? Like they don't believe them?
I'm wondering. I don't know. Like
no, I think I like more that Simon Pegg and Nick Frost take over.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they say like, "You've done well, boys. We'll take over from here." And maybe in the line, "You've done well." Like maybe that's Nick Frost saying it, and Simon Pegg's in the background. It's like, are they though?
Yeah. Maybe could Horne and Corden get killed off fairly early on?
And then I was thinking that, yeah.
Yeah.
And then I get not just bitten by werewolves, ripped apart.
Oh, disemboweled.
Yeah, like
exactly.
Like they're not coming back; they're dead.
Yeah, and then Simon Pegg and Nick Frost get drawn into this situation. Then it's their thing to deal with.
Yeah.
Yes. Great. I like that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to go further than that with the plot, or do you want to sort of leave it at that? As
can you do anything with Nick Frost being kind of a wolfy kind of guy?
Well,
he's more of a bear than a wolf, but
All right.
No, I'm just saying, like, well, can you do something with that, like,
Well, classically in a Cornetto trilogy film, Nick Frost will get involved somehow.
Yes.
Like he does turn into a zombie. He's kind of a part of whatever's going on in Hot Fuzz. And I think he does get replaced by a robot in The World's End.
He does. Okay, so at some point he needs to get bitten.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that he will become a werewolf.
Great, yeah.
But he'll be a good werewolf.
Yes.
Because he likes Simon Pegg and he's a good boy.
Yeah. Yeah. Great, yeah, exactly. Like, he managed to, that's it. He gets bitten, and he turns into a werewolf, but Simon Pegg successfully tames him, using his stern authoritarian voice and their close friendship,
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the two of them have to hunt down the lead werewolf, who I think can be Rupert Everett, because Rupert Everett would be a great villain.
He really would.
He would be good at that. Like,
yeah.
So he's the original werewolf.
I'm also thinking Ralph Fiennes. Whenever you say Rupert Everett, I'm imagining Ralph Fiennes.
I mean, they're different guys, but sure, yeah.
I've never seen Rupert Everett in person, other than in Shrek 2.
I mean, fair. I mean, that's not in person. That's a CGI
exactly.
character. Okay, sure.
Yeah, no, I like that. And then I guess there'll have to be some kind of a fight.
Yeah, I think they just need to expose the lead vampire. Maybe like Rupert Everett is like the mayor of the town, or he's got to be like a high.
But I mean, he'd be the alpha wolf.
He is the alpha wolf,
and yeah, he could be like the mayor or something in real life.
Yeah.
But basically, what's going to happen is, with the help of Simon Pegg, with the brains of Simon Pegg, Nick Frost is going to fight in werewolf form. He's going to fight Rupert Everett and not kill him, but just beat him and prove that Nick Frost is the alpha wolf.
He's the top dog.
Yeah,
okay.
And that's it. And that's basically how the film ends. It's a werewolf town of gay men.
Yeah.
Nick Frost is the alpha wolf.
He's the top.
He's the top.
He's the top dog.
He's the top.
Nice. Okay. Yeah. In a town full of bottoms, Nick Frost is the top.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
How does that work for you?
That works better for me than you could ever imagine. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
I'll let you keep thinking on that one.
Great. Okay. Cool. So yeah, that was mine.
Yeah. Lovely. What was that called again?
Hot Fuzz.
Okay, great. Werewolves are fuzzy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So mine is called Lesbian Vampires Killed Our Careers.
Lesbian Vampires Killed Our Careers. Nice, okay.
So it's going to be a self-made mockumentary from the writers of Lesbian Vampire Killers.
Oh, I see. Okay, interesting. Cool.
They're called Stuart and Paul.
Stuart and Paul. Is that actually their names?
That's actually their names.
Okay, okay.
I'm not going to give them surnames here because I don't really need to, and I don't really want to just be talking shit about specific people.
Sure, no, absolutely. These are fictionalized versions of the people who we imagine wrote this movie.
Yes. However, in real life, they did not do much more before or after this.
I am shocked.
One of them went on to write jokes for stand-up comedians, including Alan Carr, quite a lot.
Really? Okay.
But anyway, this is going to start off with some handheld footage of them at the premiere of their film, Lesbian Vampire Killers.
Okay.
They're both very excited, as this is their big break.
Yeah. This is going to shoot them to the moon. Yeah.
Like, one or two of them's done a couple little bits of TV, not much together, but a little bit. They did do a game show together in real life.
This is genuine stuff.
That's genuine, yeah. And this is their first film. This is like,
okay,
we're gonna make it, guys. This is it. And yeah, it's not the Ritz in London, but you know, this premiere, it's at Cineworld in Birmingham. It's not terrible.
Okay, Cineworld Birmingham, sure.
Yeah, the director is there, Phil Claydon, along with James Corden and Matthew Horne. They both shown up as well.
Nice of them to turn up. Yeah.
Yeah, and the press are there for those guys mainly because they're big right now.
Sure.
Especially with the third series, Gavin and Stacey up. But you know, the two writers, they're feeling quite good as well. One of them says, "We were so lucky to get those two. They've got a new sketch show coming out soon as well, so, you know, fingers crossed we're going to get on that as well."
Yeah, that's going to feed into this. They're all going to be smash hits, yeah.
And then the other one says, we're going to write the next Gavin and Stacey after this, and with these two attached, anything's possible. We'll see.
This is like the new Anton Deck. This partnership is rock solid.
Yeah. And so we get a little montage of their pre-show premiere, you know, red carpet stuff. Everybody's in their best cheap suits.
Sure, yeah.
And
I like that, their best cheap suits.
Yeah. And then we cut to directly after the film. Obviously, there's no footage during.
Sure, yeah.
And one of the writers is saying, well, I think it went well.
Yeah.
I was expecting bigger reactions to some of the scenes. The other guy, like the penis sword didn't get quite nearly as many laughs as I'd expected, but like, you know, it was all right. And then cut back to the first one. Yeah, James Corden, he did leave before the end, but like, yeah, he's a busy guy. Like, he's probably got lots of writing to do for Gavin and Stacey. He's a busy man. I'm very glad to have him in the film.
Sure. Yeah.
Anyway, now we're done with the premiere. Most of the work is done. Now we've just got to sit back, relax, wait for the award show invitations and the money to roll in.
Wait for the award invitations. They think this is Oscar worthy.
Hard cut to a few months later.
Right.
Two of them sitting in the flat that they're sharing.
Oh no.
Watching Gavin and Stacey repeats, drinking beer and looking very unclean.
Aww.
So
wait, why do I feel sympathy? I shouldn't feel any sympathy.
So the lesbian vampire money, some of it's come in. It's only a little bit so far. The big money's going to come in with the DVD sales.
Yeah. Bless them.
So far, it's enough to pay the bills. So, we're just keeping our minds fresh before we write our next big film.
Okay.
They're both sitting in their underwear.
Great. So this is after the cinema release, but before the DVD release. Yeah. Okay, I see.
Yeah, they continue to just watch Gavin and Stacey for a little bit in their underpants while drinking beer and talking about what they'd do to Stacey if they had the chance.
Oh, nice. Okay, so they're still real stand-up guys.
Yeah. Hard cut 10 years later.
Oh, okay, like it. We're in 2019.
So, present day. Hey, welcome back, everybody. It's been 10 years since we wrote the film Lesbian Vampire Killers, and we want to finish off this documentary about our lives as the successful writers that we're hoping to become.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we're still living together, and now we've both realised that the film is no good, and it has no cultural relevance. I mean, it came out the same year as Avatar, and look how well that did compared to us.
I mean, if you're going to compare yourself against anything, that's a very high bar to compare to. Low budget British horror movie versus Avatar.
Now, I know what you're thinking. The film ended with a tease for a werewolf sequel.
Mm-hmm. A gay werewolf sequel.
Well, we did try to get that going just after Twilight finished back in 2012. We actually reached out to Taylor Lautner to see if he'd play another werewolf, but he denied us.
No, I mean, he's got way too much going on.
Yeah,
he's in films all the time.
Yeah. So since then, we did try some more vampire films. We tried a mummy film even, but I mean that didn't work. And let's be honest, we all know where the real money is. Comic book films.
Oh God, what are they doing now?
So the next film we write is going to be real big. Instead of basing it off an existing comic universe, because they're always so complicated, things go wrong, fans get angry, we decided we're just going to start from scratch, make our own comic universe, and make the films off that.
Oh, okay. So they're writing their own comic books and then turning them to films.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we'd like to introduce you to Women's World.
I mean, that's an existing magazine, isn't it?
Is it?
Women's World? Yeah.
Believe it or not, I've never heard of a magazine.
Okay. So Women's World is one of those magazines that has crosswords in it, that has weird, depressing stories like "My ex-husband raped my baby," or it's one of those weird. Do you ever see those magazines in news agents? It's like Take a Break or Hello. You know those ones?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've heard of those.
Yeah.
Okay, well, you know what? I'm going to stick with it, because I reckon they wouldn't have heard of it either.
Okay, fine, yeah, sure.
So yeah, I would like to introduce you to comic book universe, Women's World.
Women's World.
It's a world entirely populated by amazing hot women.
Okay.
Now, I don't mean to brag, but I'd call myself a feminist.
By the way, this is a feminist movie. Yeah.
To clarify, I'm still quoting my character here.
This isn't you. Yeah. I get that, yeah.
I mean, Wonder Woman was fantastic. She kicked butt, and she's super hot as well. I love women. Who doesn't? Everyone loves women. So we got some drawings and some concepts that we'd like you to see. And then, of course, one of the writers holds up some very crude drawings of large-breasted women with lots of skin exposed, wielding very thick weapons.
Phallic swords. Yeah.
Plenty of that.
Right.
So we've got a first draft of a script for Women's World It Begins. And we're going to send it round to the studios to see who wants it. Mm-hmm. And cut to a few weeks later. Yeah, nobody picked up the script.
Dear.
But... I mean, Stuart, I'd still like to carry on with it if you're up for it. Fuck it, yeah, go for it. Let's fund it ourselves and make it on the cheap.
Where is the money coming from?
And so that's pretty much the end.
Okay.
Unless you've got any bits you'd like to add. Over the credits, we see the two of them just those two, dressed up as women, making a fan film in the local park.
Okay.
That's pretty much it.
I like it. Okay, so this is these two guys just as their delusional attempts to continue to have Hollywood careers. Okay, yeah. I like it. That's funny.
Yeah, so that is Vampires Killed Our Careers. Lesbian Vampires Killed Our Careers.
Cool. I think I'd like it a little bit more if they were super bitter. Because that title sounds really bitter, like Lesbian Vampires Killed Our Careers.
It does. I mean, similar to how they did it, I wrote the title before I wrote the story. But I kind of like it that they still think that they're going to make it and that they're doing well, and just like, well, you know, James Corden left, but I'm sure that he's, you know, got places to be and stuff like that, and everything's still fine. You know, we're happy with it. And
who would you cast as these races then?
I don't know, just two straight white guys.
Two straight white guys, yeah.
Probably a bit overweight. Like, you know, look very comfortable in wearing just underwear.
Sure, yeah. Anyone in mind?
You and me.
Sure, okay. Wow.
Yeah. But no, because then you could just get like really bad lookalikes for like, here's the James Corden lookalike.
Oh yeah, totally.
Here's a Matthew Horne lookalike.
Yeah. No, I like it. Yeah, I think that's got a lot of potential, definitely.
Yeah.
Cool.
Lesbian vampires killed our careers.
Lesbian vampires killed our careers, definitely. I mean, yeah, it's very plausible. Okay, should we get some listener submissions then?
Well, basically I screwed up this week. Not because I've not done it, but because...
Nobody's seen this terrible film?
No, not even that. No, because I post my post out on a group that has to get approved. Every post has to get approved. It didn't get approved this week.
Because of the word lesbians in it?
I don't know about the word lesbians, but maybe just the actual content of it. I mean, sure. I wasn't being inappropriate in the text that I was putting up, but yeah, maybe that probably says something for this film.
Sure, yeah. Well, I got a few.
Like, I got Sausage Party approved.
Yeah.
They didn't get Lesbian Vampire Killers
so
approved.
This is the bar. We're now...
I found where the bar is. This is below it.
Okay.
I mean, John, yours are all from our literal fans.
Yeah. I'll say that none of these suggestions suggest that any of these people have seen the movie. But nevertheless, our fans did give us some suggestions. Yeah. So I will read those out now, because some of them made me laugh quite a lot. So, Stuart Jip said, James Corden being killed in real life, and it's not a film, it's real life, and he's genuinely dead afterwards.
Oh, wow.
I'm not a fan, but he really like brings out bad opinions in people. Adam Capitanio said Thespian Vampire Killers. No, Thespian Vampire Thrillers.
Okay, sure.
Tony Cooper said bisexual werewolf murderers. There were a lot of these.
Yeah.
Steve Seal said straight white male accountability massacre. Parkinson said fully automated lesbian vampire space communism.
Totally, yeah.
Stephen Jones said Lebanese vampire killers. I like that one. Connor Crehan said metrosexual mummy murderers.
Oh my.
Yeah. Graham Kitchens said bisexual banshee bashers. Fernando J. Markenthal Willis said killer vampire lesbians, which is the order of words it should have been. David Handloss said LGBTQ creature crushers, the monster hunters that don't discriminate. Ryan E. Johnson said lesbian vampire killers. Jason Ritterstein said faster lesbian vampires kill, which is a spoof on a very famous film called Faster Pussycat Kill, which is basically lots of boobs. We should do that sometime. Joel Nolette said sapiosexual zombie brain eaters. Sapiosexual zombie brain eaters. It wasn't worth the effort. Greg Shepard said a filmed apology from Horne and Corden. To which Stuart Jip replied, a filmed apology for Horne and Corden.
Yeah.
So yeah, thank you everybody for those sequel ideas. We ask for your listener submissions every week, a few days before we record, by posting posts out on Facebook and Twitter, where you can post your ideas. So make sure you like and follow our pages if you don't want to miss out. To listen to more episodes of Beyond the Box Set, you can subscribe and browse our back catalogue on any podcasting platform, including iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, and many others, on all of which you can leave a 5-star review, which we both read to lighten our moods on our post-episode hangovers. And trust me, this week's is going to be a doozy. As mentioned before, we are also available on Patreon, which is exclusively for the people who would rate us 5 stars or more if they could, and you can find all those links at the description below or at beyondtheboxset.com. And next week,
it's over to you, isn't it?
It's back to me. I get to answer for this film.
What are you going to do?
I'm not going to give you just a horrible piece of misogynistic shit, because I'm not that kind of guy. I'm going to do a film that...
I mean, what's your version of this towards me? Like,
I don't even know. I couldn't even begin.
It has to be like a very aggressively gay film.
Maybe
even then, like, I wonder what it would be that would make me that uncomfortable that you would still be enjoying. No, that's not it, because I didn't enjoy this. I never thought I would.
No, you really shot yourself in the foot this week, I think.
I knew I wouldn't enjoy it, and I know you wouldn't enjoy it. I was just counting on the fact that we both hate it, and we just have a good time talking shit about it for a bit.
I feel like we did.
Yeah, that's the entire reason I picked it.
I'm fine with this episode.
I didn't pick it out of spite.
No, and I'm not going to pick
I just picked it because I thought it would be fun to rip the shit out.
That's fine.
And it's an interesting look on a certain point of James Corden's career.
Definitely. No, and I'm not going to pick this next film out of spite. There's genuinely, when we decided to do this season, this is a film that came up very much in my mind as a film that we should definitely do. And it is a film starring the one and only Nicolas Cage. And it is called Vampire's Kiss. And it is an iconic film of his.
Okay.
If you ever Google
Nicolas Cage... You've got that look in your eyes.
Yeah. I've actually not seen it. I've not seen it, so it could go either way.
Yeah.
But if you Google Nicolas Cage, it's one of those ones like... It's become a meme. Like, his facial expression in this film has become like a meme, so... I'm intrigued to know what the actual film looks like. I've heard nothing but things. I've heard things. I don't know. I think, again, we'll have a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
And, Nicolas Cage, it's never going to be boring. You're not going to be like, oh, God, John, this bored me to death. I would hope this is not a film that will inspire you to play golf. So, yeah.
Okay, sure.
Cool.
John means golf on my phone, listeners, by the way.
Yeah. Listen to the Dracula episode.
Yeah, cool. Okay, that works.
Yeah. So, join us next week for Vampire's Kiss, starring Nicolas Cage.
Yeah. Thanks for listening, everybody.
Thank you very much.
See you next week.
Bye.
Lesbian vampires.
Next time, he'll have me bummed by a big gay werewolf, I swear.